The second photo assignment in digital news photography requires that you shoot, again, general composition, the first being leading lines, texture being the second composition, and perspective or viewpoint. Already you should have completed the first Photoshop assignment that deals with probably the most basic compositions of rule of thirds and also framing. Here, leading lines. Here, what it says is that leading lines are used to draw the eye deeper into a picture or into an important subject. Now, it's not unusual also with leading lines is that the lines can serve as a subject. But here you can see through this photograph that the lines of the bridge draw the reader or the viewer's attention into the landscape. Some other examples of leading lines, as is indicated here, can include roads, rivers, streams. Railroad tracks are awesome in terms of lines, bridges, branches, and there are so many other. We'll go ahead on. Another example of leading lines here, a railroad track, serve as a subject. So with the first, I'll go back to that first slide. With this first image here, sort of leads the viewer's eye into the landscape. But with the second image of the leading lines, it's demonstrated that the lines here serve as the subject. So again, this could range from a bridge. Maybe there are lines on a wall. Maybe there are lines on a bookshelf. It will range and vary. That's the first composition required of the second photo assignment. Now, the second composition is viewpoint or perspective. This means that you will have an array of subjects, again, as you did with the first photo assignment. Any subject or element can pretty much serve as a good subject. That means that kids, automobiles, houses, landscapes, just ordinary everyday objects that you may have in your home. This composition is different, viewpoint and perspective. Why this one is different is because normally, just out of habit, a photographer, a photojournalist will shoot from eye level. That means that normality is that the person will hold the camera to their eyes. It could also be the cell phone and shoot a photograph at eye level. Okay, even if there are children, that means at eye level you're holding the camera down so it points directly toward those children. But for viewpoint and perspective, this is something different. In this photojournalism course, digital news photography, we talk about perspectives offering an alternative to the subject. Viewpoint or perspective, you can shoot from a bird's eye view. That means that you possibly stand on top of a table, a step of some sort, and look down just as a bird would. We have something also called a worm or a snake's eye view. That means that you get your body on the ground and you see the camera you would hold down on the ground, actually laying it on the ground, and it would demonstrate how a worm sees the world, how a snake sees the world. Think of another viewpoint or perspective from a child's point of view. Children may stand about 3 feet tall, 2 feet tall. That means that an adult that's about 5 feet or 6 feet tall would have to get down on their knees perhaps and envision themselves to be at eye level with the child and shoot photographs. So here, this is quite different for this second composition of this assignment, viewpoint and perspective. The examples are shooting from the ground, from the hip, from the back, a closer view. The objective here is to avoid shooting from eye level. Again, offering a different perspective, a different viewpoint. The example here, I've taken some photographs on the Troy campus here in Troy, Alabama. Very simple composition, very simple subject, just simple in terms of leaves. But I set the camera or laid it down on the actual step here near the Hall School of Journalism and shot my photograph. We'll talk about later depth of field, but there were two leaves here. One in the foreground is out of focus, but the one sort of intermediate or close to the background is sharp and in focus. But again, we could take this photograph at eye level, nothing interesting about it. But having laid or placed the camera on the ground, a great and different perspective.